The last thing I heard before the trees swallowed us wasn't wind. It was my own voice, calling me from deeper in the woods. Today, we're going into Blackwood Forest. Pack your flashlight. Keep your eyes on the trail. And whatever you do, don't answer if something calls your name. It was supposed to be a weekend reset. 3 of us, Marcus, Leah, and me. We picked Blackwood because the trail maps said it was remote, quiet, safe. We parked at the old ranger lot. GPS died within 10 minutes. Cell bars dropped to 0. We laughed it off, said it was part of the experience. By hour 2, the trail markers stopped matching the map. The orange blazes on the trees. They weren't pointing forward anymore. They were pointing in a circle. That's when the woods went quiet. Not peaceful, empty, like something had already cleared the area. We set up camp anyway, built a fire, told stories, pretended the hair on the back of our necks was just the cold. It wasn't a branch. Morning came gray and damp. Marcus checked the perimeter, came back pale, said the trees around our tents had carvings, not names, not dates, symbols, deep, jagged lines that looked like they'd been made with something sharp and something heavy. We packed fast, decided to follow the creek downstream. Water always leads to roads. We didn't hear them until we stopped. Then we realized. The steps kept going. Half a second behind us. Leah tried to call out. I grabbed her arm, told her to keep walking. Our emergency radio picked up static. Then, a voice, clear, calm, repeating Marcus's name, over and over. Marcus didn't own a radio, and the voice wasn't coming from the sky. It was coming from the ground. If you think a few weird sounds are scary, wait until I tell you what we found in our tent. And no, it wasn't an animal. Keep watching. The next part changes how you'll see every forest you ever walk into. We made it back to camp to grab the water filters. That's when we saw it. Inside Leah's tent, the sleeping bag was open. The dirt floor was disturbed. And in the center, a perfect circle of twigs, stones, and strips of our own clothing. Like an offering. Or a trap. I zipped the tent shut, told them to leave it. But Marcus, he reached down, picked up one of the stones. It was warm, and carved into it was my name. We ran, didn't pack, didn't look back, just followed the creek like our lives depended on it. They did. The forest started changing. Trees leaned inward. Roots crossed the trail like tripwires. The air grew thick, smelled like wet soil and copper. The footsteps behind us stopped, but the feeling of being watched doubled. That's when we found the footprints. Human-sized, but wrong. The toes pointed backward, and they weren't walking away from us. They were walking toward the camp, from the direction we just ran. Here's the part the official search report left out. The thing outside our tent wasn't trying to get in. It was waiting for us to look away. And what happened next is why I still sleep with the lights on. Dusk hit like a switch. 1 second, gray sky. Next, pitch black. No stars, no moon, just trees. We huddled under a rock overhang. Marcus had the radio. Leah had the last flare. I had a compass that spun like it was broken. Then, the whispers started. Not in our ears. In our heads. Faint. Familiar. Leah said she heard her mother. Marcus said he heard his brother. I heard me. I didn't. I stared at the dirt. Counted breaths. Told them to plug their ears. But Leah stood up. Said her mom was calling her name. Walked into the trees. We screamed. Ran after her. Flashlight beam cutting through black. Found her jacket. Zipper torn. Dropped like she'd been yanked straight up. No drag marks. No blood. Just gone. Marcus broke. Started yelling into the trees. Begging. I grabbed his pack. Told him to run. He didn't. It was my voice. Coming from behind him. He turned. And the forest swallowed him. I ran blind. Tripped. Cut my hands. Got up. Kept running. Didn't look back. Didn't listen. Just followed the sound of water. The trees thinned. The air warmed. My chest burned. Then, gravel. Tires. A rusted fence line. I broke through onto an old logging road. Collapsed. Watched the sun rise. Waited for sirens. For helicopters. For anyone. Nothing came for 6 hours. When they finally found me, I was dehydrated, covered in scratches, and shaking, but alive. The search lasted 11 days. They found the camp. Tents intact. Gear untouched. No footprints except mine. No signs of struggle. No bodies. But they recovered Leah's phone. Dead. But the voice memo app had recorded one file. Timestamp, 3:14 a.m. The night they vanished. It's 3 minutes of static. Then my voice, saying, "Don't follow the water. It's not a way out. It's a way in." I've never said those words. I was alone, and I still don't know what took them. But I know this: the woods don't forget, and they don't let go. If this story got under your skin, you're not alone. Hit subscribe. I drop new true horror stories every day. Drop your theory in the comments. Was it a person, a phenomenon, or something the forest made? Next video, I'm sharing the raw audio file that got my channel temporarily flagged. You don't want to miss it. Stay safe, stay aware, and if the woods go quiet, keep walking.